Does make enough sense. Grimstroke, you've got the Tiny. You've got Nikko on the Centaur. Assuming they can just land one stun, or maybe even just toss in an Inksword Centaur, it may actually be enough to kill off Dreamocel here at level 1.
That old school combo, and BDC's already lining up. Dreamocel.
Denied!
Swall's there, but he's gonna block the way for Nikko, still to toss him.
Yeah, well, go ahead's there. Dreamocel. He goes right.
He's gonna make it perhaps. He's fine. Very far out on Dreamocel.
How is it you heard?
He gets himself out of it.
He's gonna be very pleased about that. Did have to pop regen there. Still has 5 things to play with. And for Execration, the thing is, do they want to maintain this fight? Yeah, you've got the Tiny airlines, you've got a lot of stunts on hand. You're splitting out EXP, which the Grimstroke and Tiny don't really want to give away. So you need to that like the R is going really far forward here.
Nice Inkswell. Khezcute. Gonna be enough to kill him off, but a little bit of a cheeky play there from RR. Look at the other lanes though, of course. Mid lane, you do see Yowe up against Mikoto on the Storm. Of course, Panel was talking about it. Mikoto, it's one of his specials playing that Storm Spirit. Of course, we did just see Yowe on the Ember though, performing really well after a pretty bad laning stage. I can't really give the favor to either one. It feels like it's going to be quite a close match.
They're not going to be rolling out Yowe this time around in the Storm. It's just not the same effect in Dreamocel now. Again, he jumped a bit.
He's going to be fine.
Slow.
They just don't seem to have the damage output to completely finish off the Ursa. Luckily though, at least for Execration, they don't have any salves available for themselves. He's stuck on very low HP, but we'll have a look at the bot lane. Got Hyde and FBZ there up against Palos and of course RR. Hyde gonna run away from Palos. Could be a bit of a...
Ooh.
Never mind, top lane. First blood does eventually occur. They go after Khezcute and get the Crystal Maiden kill. Dreamocel very low, does block the way with the tree. Who was that? Was that BDZ or was that Nikko?
Yeah, I think that might have been Nikko coming out there, and that's a really good move. They finally hit level 2. That's what they were lacking at when Execration shafted their early XP gain. Now they've got the levels up. They've got a really massive wave for Nikko to soak through. You're going to get the damage going with that combination. You don't necessarily need to spam at this point. So good 2 early kills coming out for Execration, although down mid you can see Mikoto trying to play tab to deal with.
Yowe is very, very low in HP. You can try and one more right click would do it. Yowe, the sleight of fist, but this is going to need to use it. We'll be able to TP in the high ground. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Palos does end up dying at FBZ. The full spray, of course, can be very careful about that if you are the P8. The nasal goo can be very effective in slowing you down and getting your armor even lower. Very valuable kill there at the bottom lane.
And this is one thing for the Bristleback. These rune changes benefits the Bristle with a bottle really nicely. Much earlier bounty runes to pop up with. You're taking away from mid, sure, but Mikoto still got the power runes to get for himself, and that just means more uptime for the Bristleback to keep tossing his spells out. And a Bristleback with full mana is a very happy Bristle with a lot of damage on hand.
He is. Mikoto. Lane gonna have his water rune taken away from him by BDZ, and Nikko meanwhile tries to a neutral creep. Yowe, mid lane gonna drop quite low and does end up dying. Mikoto able to get the kill. Things set up there from Hyde. Might get the top water rune, but he has the bottom one to go.
Yeah, and that's really good for Mikoto. He's now pulling a bit ahead over Yowe. He's starting to get that bullying off. Once you hit level 6 in the Storm, you can go for a kill opportunity, especially if your Tusk rotates. The Boomer's starting to open up some aggression on hand. Your lanes are going really nicely. We're slowing down the PA, although RR.
Yeah, he's dropping quite low. Nice snowball to juke out the Ink Sweller. Now they can just easily get this Grimstroke kill. They do. FBZ, he'll take it again.
Kills is a lot more impact. So expect FBZ to be much more potent in the mid game compared to Nikko. Nikko still getting a lot from the lane, but it's not quite there. And we tend to see some of these Centaurs actually go for Hood of Defiance along with a Vanguard, so the blink is sort of delayed, and it just delays your initiation impact there for the Centaur with that kind of item build.
lane. Palos struggling just a little bit here up against FBZ. Slow build up again for him. Unlike the Pango, I feel like the Bristleback is a much more aggressive kind of art plane to have, especially throughout the laning stage. And they're actually going to rotate BDZ down now to try and go after this Bristleback. FBZ turns his back around. It's still a lot of damage flying out with the avalanche toss, and it might just be enough. Very nice rotation there from BDZ and the Tiny. Sure they got that kill, but mid lane, it has left Yowe very vulnerable. Yowe, who is still level 5, is going to die once again. Mikoto now sitting at level 7 on the Storm. There's even top lane Dreamocel. He ends up killing off Nikko.
These are all really big kills for them. They're a lot happier with that. Sure, you lost your Bristle. You're giving Mikoto such a good lane mid. He snipes the Bounty Rune as well.
Radiant's
You
middle
lose that
tower
objective
is under
there
attack.
for Execration. And now your Storm's level 7. For reference, Yowe is still level 5 on Ember. Really slow start for him. He can play catch up. We've seen him do that while behind on the Ember Spirit in game number 2. But he just doesn't have impact as of yet. And that does mean that there's not much rotation potential from him. Even at level 6, sure, you've got the spirits up. We tend to see Embers really look for the level 7 spike once you've got more damage on hand. And to really lock in those kills. And until that point, the pressure's down to the supports to keep finding these kills.
And again, they're going to try and go into FBZ, but now the TPs aren't coming. They're going to try and punish this Boom Esports, going back in onto Palos with Mikoto zipping right in onto that PA. That'll be Palos gone. FBZ going for more. We'll try for BDZ. Won't be too hard to get him either. Z happily takes that kill for himself. They learned from their the first time around those TP rotations to make sure
Dire's middle tower
BDZ doesn't
is
go
under
down.
attack.
And of course, with the Bristleback, it is going to take you a little bit longer to kill him off.
Radiant's
There's plenty of time to make the
structures are
rotations in.
fortified.
The one
Dire's
blessing here
middle
for
tower
Execration
is
is that
under
Yowe
attack.
does get some space down mid, shoving in the tower a bit. They are wrapping around him. Maybe could force a kill out here.
Koda's going to be very challenging to kill though. Level 8 already. Meanwhile, towards the south, another team fight has broken out with RR and Hyde. And is he going to show up with a toss in onto RR? But Khezcute now going to get the frostbite off. Inkswell not going to land, and here comes FBZ right back in onto the Grimstroke. That'll be RR gone.
Radiant are scanning.
Another kill out for Boom Esports. Starting to look very scary as Boom. They've been warmed up a little bit here in game number 3.
8 for 3, 1k lead up for Boom. With all these movements out, you're getting so much space for Dreamocel. The Centaur versus Ursa matchup, it's something the Ursa can hold on to now. You've got level 3 Fury swipes. If Nikko comes in to trade, you can just swipe him down. Nikko's still waiting for his Vanguard until he's protected, and before that point, it's just way too risky for him to contest the Ursa directly. He is trying to just get some pulse off, get some steady farm that way. Palos as well does have a slightly free lane. It is the farm into battle free for both of our cores, and in that sense, you're getting a lot more from Ursa. Dreamocel's already got the Perseverance up, can maintain his lane, whereas Palos always has to play a bit safe here.
Be a little bit careful on the spot side of the map. Execration have started moving in. Now the goal, that's a big target. They got the storms for
Radiant's
Mikoto.
bottom tower is under attack.
They tried to kill off Palos. It didn't work out and they just stuck around the area, but Execration, knowing exactly where they were, get a very successful gank going, and well, that's one thing you never really want to see is your mid-storm dying like that.
Really compensate for that slower start on Yowe. You get to move into defend the bot tier 1 just a bit more as well. Love the wards here from Execration. They understand what Boom wants to do from the Dara side. They keep trying to invade that jungle. They've got really good wards here on Execrations and to punish that movement out. There's some vision here as well from Boom, but not
Dire's
enough
top
sentries to
tower is
cancel
under
out
attack.
the advantage that Execration does have controlling that bot jungle. So gonna have to be a bit cautious with the deeper dives. Execration, they're not lagging too far behind here. Again, it's only a 1k lead for Boom. Palos right now is still saving up for the Battle Fury, but is only 2 parts away. You are only 1 part away for Dreamocel, so you're still looking good in the core-to-core matchup. You can get one, but really more.
Big caught out of the Centaur. He's going to try and hoof stomp, but there's no way out. Dreamocel will take himself another kill and himself a little bit towards the Battle Fury.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Be another one of those games where you just kind of bide
Radiant's
your time
bottom
and
tower is under
allow
attack.
Palos to just keep getting that farm up on the PA. But they are maybe going to decide to defend this bottom tier 1 tower, but a bit too late. It's already gone.
Execration not quite set up to force a
Radiant's
tier 1 of
bottom
themselves.
tower has fallen.
Not really lined up for the top, not really lined up for mid quite nicely. They can try to force towers out though. They've got the Centaur. There's an early Hood of Defiance here on Nikko. He's rushing the Blink next, so he's bypassing the Vanguard. Just there. You don't necessarily need it in this match. You might want it down line. They do catch out Dreamocel, but there's no follow-up. Like, Nikko finds these opportunities. They're not quite ready to jump in on Execrations, and they're just still busy farming up and protecting Palos.
Okay, no, worthly to boom though. It's going to be quite scary here for Execration. They want to start focusing down that top tier 1 tower and open up the map a little bit for Palos. Dreamocel has been fairly conservative with his positioning, just farming that top lane as now they jump in the backside onto RR. Nikko, he's in this awkward position. He needs to find a way out of it. That team cross line is going to be there. There's going to be no helping out. Or maybe they will. The Avalanche tosses out. He's got enough time to get him out of there. But now Yowe's the one in trouble. Khezcute will channel the freezing field and does get the Ember kill. Who said position 5s can't kill off mid-Embers, John? They can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, Khezcute was just allowed to channel it. You know, onto what, 100 HP maybe less. Get so much value from really good positioning there from Khezcute. Good punishment out. They managed to get the punishment. Execration looked like they had a window. They are a bit too slow into response, and boom, just get to run away. They've got a Battle Fury up now on Dreamocel. For the farm, so they can start racking up. They are fairly close here for Palos as well, though.
Now they've got Hyde up in the top lane. That'll be a nice easy kill for Execration. He's either wants to take that from the Tiny.
Dire's top
While
tower
that
is under
previous
attack.
fight was breaking out,
Radiant
BZ was
structures
taking
are
a
fortified.
massive amount of ancient stacks and
Radiant's middle
pretty
tower
calm with his
is under
crystal
attack.
back. They force in the mid-tier 1 tower now. Trying to chip away the HP pools at BZ, but he's not really taking much damage. Instead, they'll go on to Mikoto, but he's going to be just fine as they try to avalanche. He's not going to be in range there for BDZ.
Radiant's middle tower has been destroyed.
Enough as
top tower
top
is
side,
under
Nikko
attack.
being caught by Hyde, and Nikko has to run. He has the stampede, he will use it, but the snowball is gonna make it. It won't matter. There was no shards up, not lock him down. Yeah, and the stampede will work out.
It's not too bad. Stampede cooldown is steady 90 now, so you're not going to have too much downtime on it. You've got Battle Fury up on Palos, who've stalled long enough that the PA can truly try to play this farming game now. And there is a smoke here. Execration wants to play aggressive.
They found Mikoto on the storm. That's a massive target again with the fast up from RR. Is it going to be enough? Yowe strike. He does get it in time. Up the Hyde. Will try to return. Then Ember kill himself. Yowe looking pretty healthy now. EDZ's going to make his way in onto the tusk. And they'll get another. Said it before, I'll say it again, John. You don't want to see a storm dying like that.
A bit too confident coming out from Mikoto. They're not respecting the jump potential here from Execration. Not respecting the silences as well. Like, once the Grimstroke comes in to follow up the root, you're kind of stuck. There's no one to back up Mikoto. He's really far forward. Boom. They are still ahead. They're still getting some farm here,
Radiant
but
are
you
scanning.
can see Mikoto starting to dip behind. Palos is now ahead of him. He's still ahead of Yowe, which is good news. But you want to get that farm going onto the storm. I mean, FBZ wood farm is great, but you do have to consider the scaling. Like,
Dire's
Pixel Bat's
top
too
tower
strong.
is under
He
attack.
wants to be able to stand
How many
front and
daggers
fight
am I
clear
holding
on.
up?
He's diving in. Here, Bristol does get RR up now. Nikko is cheeked down. EDZ. Get that one back in here. Freezing field though has been thrown down, but it's not going to last very long. Please kill off the CM, but now SPC, he wants to keep going. He's still got the double damage reduction, but look at the damage up. For BDC, he gets yours up, and he's gone. Oh my goodness. He's hitting for 400 damage.
Yeah, you can't underestimate Warpath with the VD. Lots coming out, and even the nasal goo. The minus armor was slightly buffed. I believe it was plus 0.1 across each level. It's still really impactful. Once the stacks come in, that could be one full additional armor taken away. There's a lot going on here for the Bristle. With the Yule's up, he can get control for himself, stop the TPs away, and we saw that in play for FBZ. So a lot of that gold is sinking in Bristle. You're not too far behind on Dreamocel, which is great. The BKB is flying out for the Ursa relatively soon. Our PA in comparison, Palos still saving up for a Deso. Will probably need a BKB and definitely will need the Agony Shard for that break on FBZ if they want to find any hope of really nice, quick, and easy.
Top lane. Palos is going to be allowed to farm up. He has more help coming in to boot, so Execration looking for another big team fight. Stampede up in 10 seconds. Mikoto spotted the mount. Nikko, this is the stun. Mikoto is being very patient. Sits way back. We're going to go right back in onto Nikko. Soulbind is down now with the double pass. Onto the storm. Mikoto, he might just be gone, and he does die as they even get Hyde. BZ trying to get something for their trouble, and it goes back in onto Khezcute and BDZ. He will get another kill before he dies. BZ, he gets one for his trouble, but it's another lackluster team fight for Boom Esports.
I mean, Execration just finds the softer targets they want. Even if they miss that initiation on Nikko, they had the backup this time around. Get the damage off, and it's just down to the fact that the Storm has nothing defensive. Like, Mikoto only has the Orchid to play with. He really needs something to help out. The BKB is going to be great once he farms it up. He needs the space now to play catch-up. Like, you've got two cores draining the map, FBZ's taking out all the lanes, so is Dreamocel, but that leaves Mikoto stuck kind of farming the lanes and farming uncontrolled parts of the jungle, which is not ideal. You need to bleed that space out to the Storm, get the BKB going, and then you can start to play again with Mikoto. You can start looking for the angles, rip through the Grimstroke first, and work your way from there.
He's just kind of pushing in that tier 2 tower. He will have help behind him in case he needs it. Even though these team fights have not really been working out, they are still feeling confident enough to keep pushing down these towers.
Radiant
And it is fair as well, as they are 4k ahead in terms of net worth. He's looking for a way in, but he's the only one there. Like, never mind that, there is a smoke to the backside now. John is pretty on target. BDZ has been gone, but Nikko is there on the FBZ. They want the Bristol first. Yeah, look what they do. There's your breathing clear, and now Mikoto is in on Zara. And Mikoto actually slides in the middle of all that. That'll be your Storm Spirit gone. Now Hyde needs to get out as Yowe. It's the start chasing down the Ember. A T1 catcher, now a double stun. It's out from Nikko in the tree line. Look at the toss up. They'll kill Nikko, but they got Hyde as a trade. Now Dreamocel forced to join in with his team. Doesn't really want to be here on the Ursa.
is under attack.
Overall, it still kind of seems decent as they keep going. Dreamocel in danger now. Palos has joined in. Opposite BKB is going to try and fight this one out, but Yowe is just hiding him around as BDZ kills off Khezcute and Dreamocel. His BKB is wearing off. It looks like his time is over as he won't even get the tiny kill.
Is under attack.
Another bad team fight. Boom Esports.
They're just not able to kill off these key heroes in the middle of these fights. Like, they get baited in onto the tiny, they don't find BDZ, and they get the silence off with RR. Yowe just dives in, and again, without the BKB, the Storm is just a sitting duck. All of that control on Execration's end, and you just see a massive kiting issue here for the Ursa. He's going for the blink next. It helps him get in, it doesn't help him get out. And that's where we feel the hurt of a lack of Abyssal. We're not seeing any sort of movement into the Ag Shard here as well. For the added enrage on the Earthshock, that could be really helpful, but I'm not sure if it's something that they're even trying to do. It's appreciated about
Mid lane Hyde. Down. Nikko will come into double F. That'll be enough for the task. They fought RR. They keep going now with FBZ. Nice hoof stop there from Nikko to slow them down. They continue the chase onto BDZ. And there, trying to disengage as Yowe shows himself down as well. The BDC is still being chased. And looks like they will give up the Tiny. It'll be a double kill out for Dreamocel.
It's not the biggest loss there for Execration. Those are two supports. You don't feel too bad. It does open up the possibility for Roche here for Boom. And of course with an Ursa, Roche still falls really quick. Execration maybe could try to make a play with Yowe, but they don't. They do have Roche's happening. Should make their way now if they want to contest, but just falls fast.
It doesn't look like they're going to make it quite in time. It's Dreamocel. He picks up the Aegis, and now they move on to the high ground. Palos may get scouted out here by FPZ and Dom. Zip in Mikoto with the orb will pass immediately. The EA is in pretty big danger, as he did not go for a BKB, but rather Gesso. Palos being a little bit punished there.
Stupendous!
I don't fault him. Like, he does need the Desolator, especially since they don't have an easy way to break that Bristleback. Even the Ursa is really tanky at this point. So you do need that minus armor on hand if you want your PA to actually get some kills off. But now it's also time for Execration to sit back and wait for their PKs. You're seeing the power of Boom start to come through. Mikoto was very close to his BKB, one part way, basically just lacking the recipe at this point. And with his Aegis up, Dreamocel's much more safe in the front line. He's almost got his blink, pretty much has it after this tower. So once that flies in, the Ursa can jump in, join the storm in the initiation. We're also seeing some good build-up here for FPZ. He's got the Hood of Defiance and the Vanguard out, so he's very protected.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lane,
attack.
bit of an initiation down to FPZ.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Here too, going to be defended just with the glyph. Still going for a fight here, Execration, if they really want. They are moving in. Very fast in the range now. A great charge in from Hyde. Blocking away, and that'll be Nikko. Going down with BDZ. He's into the map line. He goes off Khezcute. But now BDZ is giving his own life away. He'll at least get a secondary in the form of the cast. Z wants to keep going for more. Yowe, no remnants available. He's going to try and TP out. Oh, and FBZ, he could not get the vision for the Yules off. So a 2-for-2 trade. Favoring the side of Boom Esports.
Under attack.
The great chance. See right here, John, just blocking the way perfectly to Dreamocel. You never really want to be stuck with Dreamocel in a hard place. It's mid lane now, Mikoto. Dreamocel, he's going to try and fight this out. RR does die, but Palos is on the way out. Mikoto, again, another kind of awkward death for him on the storm. Now Nikko's going to jump in onto FBZ. Yules set for off in time. Boys are starting to go back in onto Yowe. Dreamocel onto Nikko now. BDZ trying to help him out with the avalanche, but the enrage was there in time. And Nikko, maybe not yet. Palos gets the swallow on Dreamocel. He may have gone too far. He's going to try and get himself out of this one, but he will lose the Aegis. They get him another time. BDZ's going to try and toss back, but that is a great big jump from Dreamocel. Now BDZ could be in danger. They even have the breathing from the high ground. Palos going to try and run. BDZ will buy back. Stampede is there. FBZ, the one being targeted on the bristle. He'll go down. Dreamocel, very low turn from HP. He's going to keep fighting this one out, but here comes Palos. And Yowe, but here comes Mikoto, trying to save the day. He's already lost his Ursa. He's quite low on mana. He needs to be careful here. Palos is not trying to evade, just is working out for him, and now Mikoto is going to get punished for zipping in. Oh, it's a very optimistic zip in there from our Storm. We're off Khezcute. Getting it tossed up in the air. Install there. You know Khezcute's gone. That's a full team wipe. Execration looking very good now. They still don't have the net worth lead, but even with the net worth deficit, they're still making these team fights work.
Yeah, the issue for Boom is quite built here. Both Ursa and Bristleback are kind of stuck in place. Even with the blink up and the Ursa going in, you can't jump around like the PA does. You can't jump around like the Ember does. You can't follow up if the Tiny gets someone tossed in. It's just really difficult to get these melee cores in a good position, and there's just no itemization to help that out. Like, you've already got the blinking Ursa. He's going into the Basher next. Abyssal is not going to fix any of those issues. And as the game goes on, they've got to figure out a way to start digging through the PA evasion. Like, you don't necessarily want the NKB on the Ursa. definitely don't want it to swell in the storm, but someone has to be able to hit and burst down Palos because he's just getting really strong, and he doesn't even have a BKB yet.
I didn't realize in that replay that the blink in from Palos cost him his life. I was wondering how he died, and Static Remnant is a thing.
Are scanning.
Nevertheless, still a great team fight here for Execration. See a bit of frustration there. So overall, I mean, Boom Esports, regardless of what's happening in this game, are holding the net worth lead somehow. Still sitting at 6k. Now they've got the basher up on Dreamocel. Gonna go back into that 2-2 bottom tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has
They've
fallen.
got it.
Yeah, it's building in here for Boom. I still worry about the versus impact. Like, sure, you can kill off everyone else. You can't touch the PA, and
Dire's
that's a
middle
massive
tower
issue.
has
And
fallen.
Palos does go for the minus armor talent. So he's starting to make everyone a bit squishier. I think there would have been a lot of value in the evasion talent here. Just because, again, who builds an MKB on the side of Boom? It's not being queued up yet by Dreamocel. It's not like you go for MKB on Bristleback. So evasion just feels really value, but again, Palos has been living through a ton anyway with what he has on hand, and Boom still needs to figure out a way of stopping that. Even just the shards as well coming out from Palos makes it so hard for FDZ to feel tanky in the front lines. He just gets broken, he's stuck, can't really run around.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
it's just a
attack.
game of mobility. A lot of pressure is on Mikoto, and I think the Axe timing for the Storm is going to have to come out at some point, just because they need so much control with that one jump in, because no one else can jump in and keep up with the mobility of Execration beyond
Radiant's middle
Mikoto's
tower
Storm.
is under attack.
A lucky find.
Boom Esports still just sticking around in that mid lane, just trying to assert some dominance on the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Execration, they know that as long as they can hold out on Palos, it should go well later on, but there is a big smoke up now from Boom. Line's being drawn out, they know exactly
Radiant's
where
middle
Palos
tower
is.
is under attack.
Gonna miss the train here as Palos back off, and now Execration be the ones that maybe just pop a smoker's 4. Never mind that, they might just run up themselves. RR's got one. See. In that mid lane. Mikoto gonna zip right in. He wants to go after the tiny first to get the regen route. Off of BDZ. More stuff done. Now Nikko goes right back in Mikoto. Oh, there goes your storm. Dreamocel. He's in the middle of Nikko. Now Palos can go on to FBZ and get another kill for himself. He links right in. Khezcute. He's going to be targeted. Yowe, he'll take the kill. It's a DDPA. You don't want to be around her right now. Snowball going to delay things a little bit. He's going to try and finish the left side for BDZ. He's there to give the vision, and Palos will happily take the kill. Tier 2 Mattel, they go.
It's really falling flat for Boom. You can't have your Storm up front like that. Really
Dire's middle
greedy play for the
tower is under
regen.
attack.
He went in just to grab the regen. He got punched super hard. Didn't
Radiant
use the
are
BKB.
scared.
Very quick counter initiation coming out of the Nikko to make that work, and now BDZ.
So, blink away, but they know where he is. The pings are coming out. Do they have a way to stun him up? Yowe? No. And have the sleight of fist. Go for the sleight of fist chains combo. Gonna run into Palos. Still have vision on the Ursa.
Dire are scanning.
Very bad for Boom. They're not expecting this. But no vision seeing this at all. Khezcute is going to be immediately taken out. Trying for a Roshan, but no Roshan up yet for Execration.
A little bit more time here for Execration to keep playing that farm game. Boom, they still maintain a slight 2k lead, and a lot of that's really just riding on Dreamocel and the fact that Execration kind of sacrificed their other cores. They're wrapping around again, though.
They are. 25 scenarios. They found Dreamocel immediately. Khezcute's going to fight back. Dreamocel is still locked down. Get his BKB off eventually. Go on to Nikko. Meanwhile, Mikoto's holding back everybody else. He kills off RR. It's gonna be a 2-2 trade. Dreamocel trying along with Hyde. CDC still go onto Mikoto, who used the rest of his mana to try and zip away. Yowe, use a chase. He knows he's very low in terms of mana. Palos will go onto FPT instead. And they might just get him. He's reading up that tanky right now. His kids just trying to attack Palos. He keeps changing targets, but eventually he will get the tie back. PA has become a really big issue here for Boom Esports. They don't really seem to have any of the answers.
It's just about to get worse. Palos is finally flying out a basher. They're gonna have a stun on the PA, they're gonna have a long-range stun with the stifling dagger if you're lucky with a proc, and it's just not something Boom has on their own. Again, all their control in terms of initiation is on Mikoto. He's the only one that can zip in, lock one target in, and get the cleanup from the rest of his team. Boom just don't have the same impact. FBZ now, he's not feeling tanky. If Palos comes in with that fan of knives with the natural break, it's just so much durability taken away from Bristle that FBZ can't stall these fights out long enough to get enough Quilt Spray and boost stacks up for his team to win. And Boom needs to find some way to relieve that pressure. Dreamocel saving up for Satanic. He is trying to farm up for an MKB as well. It just feels way too slow for the power spikes coming out from Execration. Like, they've dragged the lead down to just 2k, and they can line up for that next Roche. They do spot the illusion here.
Yeah, this is when you would have loved that Divine Rapier still giving you true strike here for Dreamocel, but he won't have that opportunity. What they do have, however, is a Roshan. And unfortunately, Palos left the Roshan a second early, and it's going to cost them the Aegis. It was literally a second early, and he would have had the Roshan. Bit of mistiming there, and now Boom, they're going to feel a little bit safer on this map.
It's such an important Roche to take. I think second Roche is really the biggest one now. Like, first Roche is nice. You really don't want to give second Roche away. 3 Ag Shard up for Dreamocel. So you do have that mini Enrage up with the Earthshock. And that can potentially buy enough time for Dreamocel to stay alive and get his damage off. There's still the issue of kiteability here for Dreamocel, but still hold on to the 5k lead. Execration have to deal with 2 lives on the side of Boom and potentially just HPs pop in the middle of it. Gotta be a bit cautious in reapproaching these fights here.
Still posturing, they're feeling confident with this Aegis on. It's like Execration aren't actually too afraid of them either, even with that Aegis cheese.
Dire's
Back
bottom
off.
tower is under attack.
Farms we had. So, I mean, he's going to feel a little bit bad trying to go for this MKB, but obviously, you pointed it out earlier, but it's very necessary, and he does have it up now. Get a nice surprise reveal. Boom Esports could easily make their way back into this game. Especially when you've got those shards on top.
Boom's got a lot of opportunities to show off that power. Execration are playing really smart. They don't want to fight into Aegis cheese, they just stick as 5 and just kind of play as 5, not giving the opportunity to tops. Boom don't want to do that.
Jumped on, they're holding the fan of knives for now, waiting for some follow-up immediately. He's going to be able to toss that on. There's the fan of knives now, ripping FBZ to dread. Mikoto is in on the BDC, on the side of dead. He will have to eat the cheese to survive. The damage up was so insane, but now Dreamocel is down on the Palos. He won't lock him down. They're turning back around onto Nikko. This might be good for Execration. As they've gotten a 3 for 2 so far. And Boom Esports, even with the Aegis, are forced to back off.
It's really good for Execration. It looked a bit wonky jumping in, trying to force a fight with Aegis cheese, but they just get the blow up on the Bristle, force the cheese out in the storm, and now you don't have to worry about the Aegis. Dreamocel, he gets caught out. It's just
it looks like he is gone, but Yowe is not the double damage, or maybe not. He turns right back around. Yowe is the one who dies. Palos now, the Shark walking him away from the Ursa. He'll go on to Hyde. It's never Khezcute. He's got the freezing build out. He'll kill off the Pos 1 PA. Onto the Frostbite. They'll get another. And look at that, John. The position 5 Crystal Maiden saving the day again.
Khezcute just has really good positioning in this fight. I'm just so curious what happened there. Palos was on low ground. It looked like they had vision up the ramp. Maybe they were just above the ramp and they were still on the ramp, but they didn't have high ground vision. But he didn't manage to blink in and get that kill, and that really just ruined that fight for Execration. Props to Boom for holding that position quite nicely. They managed to dig through the mid towers now. There are no buybacks in this hero, so a bit of an opportunity for Boom to respawn Sarah and Mikoto, really zip down mid, and they can try to pressure the high ground. They still hold mages here on Dreamocel.
They do it. So, really getting through that tier 3 tower very quickly. No firebacks on Execration is going to feel very bad right now. It's not like the momentum was finally behind them. Now they're going to be 2 Raxes down, it looks like, unless they can somehow defend this bottom lane of Rax. Very unlikely without Yowe and Palos. Double siege creep wave as well. Even juicier. Boom Esports. Suddenly Boom are back in the lead.
Yeah, Execration just one whiff fight and it's constant. They kind of overextend after already finding the cheese and forcing the dieback. And now they're going to have to play against 2 waves of super creeps. They do have a really good way of clearing that out, but the economy is going to start to sink. Boom has more control on the map. They can keep farming up. Dreamocel saving up for his pistol now. The Aegis will expire soon. They will have to watch out, but the Swift Blink is up for Dreamocel. This could really help them out in getting that initial damage off now. Just trying to keep Palos down and killing him off before anything else.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Aegis must go. Without it, Palos will be very cautious to jump in with the Ingswell immediately. However, Super Snowball will save the day, and they are going to be right back in LBZ. He's still alive, Dreamocel. Runs to DA Palos, just turn the back up. The Frostbite to hold it down. Not just the DA. There's no buyback available on Palos. Now Yowe, he's going to try and remember his way away. Mikoto, he got BDC on the Tiny, and it looks like Yowe, he might make some space here. Eventually Boom will realize there's no point chasing him down. They'll go on to the final Melee Barracks, and it was a great snowball there from Hyde.
He did a lot of work for that first just giving them that fight. If they can't blow up FBZ with a first use of Fan of Knives, then he is just such a menace. Can be able to clean up mega creeps for Execration. He's with no Palos for a minute. You just go for tier 4s if you want to force the issue here.
My searing gaze.
The try. Mikoto zips in, Yowe. Remnant out immediately. Very low on Remnant on this Ember. Make this team fight extremely hard. We want T4 gone. He's in now on the Ember. Snowball is there to follow up the BTB. What's there inside? Dreamocel, Goldline, is there to lock them down, but the Aegis are still falling. They are ignoring everyone. Just going straight to the Aegis and they will win out the game. Game 3 will go the way of Boom Esports in a very back and forth. It felt like they were very close, John, but not close enough. And with that, we are going to head back to the panel, see what they thought about this game number 3.